Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Last night, I was reading in bed when my husband started massaging my shoulders. You know what that means. So I quickly said, I'm way too tired for sex, babe. And he said, we only have sex like once a week. You're always so tired. And it really got me thinking, how often are married couples supposed to have sex? So I Googled it, naturally. And that's when I found the Relatable Report. It's a free resource for married couples, and it delivers research-backed relationship advice to your inbox every Friday. Check it out and sign up at relatablereport.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 17, episode number 3606. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my cock, and you are the Men's Room. On tap today, once again, we play Big Dummy. Ted's meat and potatoes as the hardest, easiest foods to make. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, a Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted. Clap, clap, drinking a dog. Here we go. Man claims his penis got smaller after he contracted COVID-19. Meanwhile, a woman takes pot brownies accidentally to a senior center that causes quite the scene. Lamborghini driver who tried to outrun police while drunk is a true rocket man. A Washington State wildlife employee does something that could land him in the can. And a man wonders why annoying Papa Roach song keeps playing in his ear. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, today is the day that we play Big Dummy, the game show that rewards you for your stunning ignorance. And here's how it works. You call us, we will spin the category wheel. Thank you, sir. We will spin the category wheel, and then we'll ask you a question from that category. But here's where Big Dummy separates itself from your average, more reputable game show. We will continue to ask you questions until you get one right. Because, as always, we want you to leave here smarter than you showed up. Now, so far this year, after 1 week of Big Dummy, our current biggest dummy is a 2-headed monster. 1 part Ryan, 1 part Justin, both of whom thought premature ejaculate was actually called premature ejacu-early, and found a way to answer 7 consecutive questions wrong. Can you do better? It's a spelling joke, Mike. Of course you can. Everyone else has. So give us a call, and off we go on Big Dummy.
Be a contestant to play Big Dummy. Call 206-421-ROCK. You can like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Bro, gnarly.
What's up, Taylor?
Dude, that nerd in his electric hybrid totally blew the light while texting his yuppie friends.
That's so bogus, bro. Are you hurt?
Yeah, like I can't move my hips, bro. I think I broke my pelvis, man.
Dude, no way.
Way.
Taylor, you need to drop a dime and talk with the lawyers at the Advocates Law Firm.
No way, can't afford that, bro.
Your crotch is broken, man, and they don't earn any money unless they win your case.
Dude, no way.
You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9. KISW.
Overshows, and away we go. Welcome to Season 17, Episode number 3606. What a large charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat, that's a fact. Head Chef is back, Ted's Meat Potatoes. I guess you have some food that seems relatively easy or should be easy to make, but it's actually kind of hard.
Right. So people just ranked like the hard, like basically easy foods. Which one of these is the hardest to make?
Okay. All right. Okay. So if you're looking for a quick snack, maybe that's not the way to go. Or maybe you'll just mess it up.
Yeah, I mean, they're still easy. They're just the hard easies.
The hard easies.
The hard easies.
That sounds like a rapper.
You know what I think is
I'm hard easy.
In my mind, not that this is on the list.
Easy was hard.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't go by hard easy.
No. I'm saying he was hard.
Yeah, but I got to go by hard. I'll be Lil Hard Easy.
I think mine is, might be on the list, but mine is eggs. Because I like eggs a number of different ways. And if you crack the yolk right out of the gate, you know what I mean? Now you're just in scrambled egg territory.
But that's okay. That's the thing.
That's
you
fine.
can break the yolk. Even if it's not what you wanted, you just lie to everyone around you. Everyone's cool with scrambled eggs.
But I like my eggs runny. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally,
right?
If I'm making eggs, it should be a fairly easy thing to do.
Sometimes for a sandwich, though, like if I'm just making a sandwich in the morning, like I'll just throw the egg in there, kind of break the yolk, and then just kind of have a fried egg that way.
I'm right there with you, man.
Because to me, sunny side up and a fried egg are different.
Yes. Head Chef on the way with Ted's Meat and Potatoes. Also today, very exciting, we have been gifted a chance for you to win Ghost and Volbeat tickets.
Oh, yes.
At Climate Pledge Arena. Here is what they asked of us. They said, you guys pick a different time every day. You tell the listeners when that time will be. At that time, you will give the secret code word. Yeah, and then you'll head to KISW.com. Enter the word at that time for a chance to win those tickets. So today we have decided
they're very excited about
the time. Are you ready?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're going to do 4:20.
Oh, wow.
I figure it's an easy one for you to remember. You know what I mean? It's a time that hopefully will stick in your brain.
I like how you switch it up, man. People have no idea what's coming.
That's why that's why I do this, because I figured, look, you got to listen to the beginning of the show to know the time. If you don't know the time, you don't have a chance. You know what I'm saying? So if we just do it this way, you see, then it makes people listen longer, which is the goal here. You get
Miles' brain glows in the dark. I mean, that's what we're talking about. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, 4:20. The secret word for your chance to win tickets to Ghost and Volbeat. Also today, as we head on over to the Odyssey app, as we do Monday through Friday at 6, and do a little Men's Room happy hour for you. If you don't have the Odyssey app, it's an easy thing to do. Download it. It's absolutely free. And then from there, search for the Men's Room happy hour channel. Once you find that, just know it only goes live when we are on the air.
Correct.
If you're to download it now and check it out, it's going to be nothing but dead air, which is a bad thing if you're on terrestrial radio. In this case, all bets are off. Right. We can do whatever we want on the Odyssey app. We can have dead air all day long.
No, just 23 and a half hours.
We can cuss. You know what I mean? We can do all the things.
Yeah.
So it's an adult feature that we do. With that, we have some Dirty Big Dummy. And today, I'm going to test your guys' knowledge to figure out if these are actual porn star names or not.
So we're going porn stars today.
These are porn stars.
Now, see, you got us before with Squirt Reynolds. I didn't realize you had made that name up. I'm like, there's got to be a Squirt Reynolds. Sorely disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, you might wonder, I don't know, is Maxie Mounds a real person? or Dick Delaware? We're going to find out coming up with Dirty Big Dummy coming up on the Men's Room Happy Hour. But what? I mean, look. I mean, you got to be remembered. You got to be known in the porn industry.
But Delaware?
Dick Delaware? What's wrong with Dick Delaware?
What state would you have picked? Mm-hmm. Would you be Tony Texas?
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on, man.
Yeah, there's Rod Rockhard. Is that an actual adult porn star or not? How about Wesley Pipes? Who's
Wesley Pipes is good either way.
Yes, exactly. Who else we got on this list? Yeah. Oh, no, I can't even say that one on the air. See, this is why we got to go to the Odyssey app.
Right.
Mia Dumore. Kaylee Love Cox. Are they porn stars or are they not? We're going to find out coming up today with Dirty Big Dummy on the Men's Room Happy Hour. It's always a good time. And today is the day that we do play the actual game known as Big Dummy. It is an easy game to play. We'll spin a category wheel. You're either playing for Team Sober or Team Not Sober. As we started the year last week, we have a two-way tie for the biggest dummies. That would be Ryan and Justin took them 7 questions to get one right. And as we do on Big Dummy, we like to do a little men's room poll. Last time we played, we said you get to keep one. Jesus. Yeah. Ooh, for the rest of the year.
Oh, we're back in business.
That's right. And lose the other 3. So keep in mind, you only get to keep one. The other 3 you cannot consume anymore. So your choices were cheese, chocolate, bread, or meat. Overwhelmingly, you said if I could keep one of the 4 and get rid of everything else, you took meat at 59% of the
Okay.
That was the main one.
Yeah.
Chocolate came in at number 2 at 18%.
Really?
I think people maybe misread the poll and tried.
They did. Everybody thought that was because we were like, easy chocolate. And I was like, you think you're getting rid of chocolate.
Right. No,
You're
that's the only thing.
keeping one,
You can't eat
losing
meat,
3.
cheese, and bread. All you're going to do is eat chocolate. Chocolate and potatoes, I guess. I don't know what the hell you're going to do there. Chocolate is number 2, 18%. Cheese at 12%. And bread at 11%. Now, today on the Men's Room poll, by the way, which you can go and vote now if you follow us on Twitter, at Men's Room Live. This in the news, Jenna Jameson. I don't believe that we've ever had Jenna Jameson on the show before.
I don't believe so. No.
I think the closest we've gotten in the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon was the time that Tito Ortiz came in.
Right, we had Tito in.
And he was just either going through he was with her, going through a separation. I can't remember exactly.
There was a lot there.
There was a lot
going on, but yeah, that's as close as we've gotten to Jenna Jameson.
Either way, she revealed.
For the record, needs to be stated, I took a punch from Tito Ortiz in my arm.
You did.
Which was stupid, but you did.
Yeah.
You handled it pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't seem like you're in that much pain.
No, and listen, I grew up in the Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell era.
Yeah.
In UFC, and I always hated Tito. He was actually like a really, really nice guy in person.
He was great.
Yeah, I mean, he's nice to us.
Yeah, exactly. I think he went down to California, ran for some political office, like a mayor thing, and did that for a week and decided he didn't like it and quit.
Oh, no.
That's the last I heard from Tito Ortiz. But anyway, Jenna Jameson, his ex, the former adult film actress, she revealed Monday that she is suffering from Guillain-Barré disease. Now, Guillain-Barré syndrome, I guess, basically is kind of a partial paralysis. It is a rare autoimmune disorder in which the body's immune system begins to attack the nerves, causing muscle weakness, which can lead to paralysis in extreme cases. And she said she could not walk. Sufferers often have diarrhea. They have respiratory illness in the weeks prior to their diagnosis. And basically, it's named after 2 French physicians.
And my thought is, again, I don't want my name attached to something that's debilitating.
Right. And that would be a guy named Guillain and a guy named Barré, who described it in a 1916 journal in which 2 soldiers were affected by paralysis, but later ended up recovering.
But again, even though you're the scientist that figured this out, which is significant and important, do you want your name attached to it? Whoa. You don't need to name this after.
Well, we know how this works. I mean, depending on the situation. I mean, John Crapper. We know what you can guess what he did, what he invented, right? I mean, it's
the single pedestal toilet.
Yes,
John Crapper. So to remember him, we named the things we drop in there.
Right.
Well, I mean, think about Lou Gehrig's disease, right?
Sure.
Lou Gehrig did not invent ALS. It's ALS, but they're like, you have Lou Gehrig's disease.
Now look,
and you're thinking like, do you think Michael J. Fox is saying, hey, do me a favor, change Parkinson's to Michael J. Fox? Like, nobody wants that.
No. And it depends. Sometimes it's based on the patient. And sometimes it's based on the doctor.
I'd rather be the doctor than the patient for sure.
So, Crohn's disease. 3 New York physicians. They figured that one out in 1932. One guy was named Burl Bernard Crohn. Okay, a couple other doctors. But since Crohn's name was listed first alphabetically,
for real,
the condition ended up being in his name only.
Again, if I'm him, like, no, fellas, go ahead. You can put your name on this if you like.
Salmonella. The Minnesota
His name was Sam Manila.
Undercooked chicken is named after a person, Daniel Elmer Salmon. He was a veterinary pathologist who ran a microorganism research program during the late 19th century. Although Salmon didn't actually discover the type of bacteria that now bears his name, they isolated the bacteria later and ran the research from what he did. So the guy who basically figured it out decided to name it Salmonella after him because he was the pioneer in the research.
Well, it's probably, hey, man, you can name it after that dude or name it after yourself. Oh, sorry, Mr. Salmon.
Parkinson's disease, a progressive nervous system disorder that affects movement. You just brought it up. Named after James Parkinson. He was a busy fellow, they say. He was in a booming medical business. He also dabbed in geology, paleontology, and politics. Parkinson even published a 3-volume scientific study of fossils. While following a foray into British politics, he advocated a number of social causes and found himself briefly ensnared in an alleged plot to assassinate King George III.
Damn.
Parkinson turned his attention to medicine, did some research on gout and other things, but it was his landmark study on shaking palsy that affixed his name to Parkinson's disease.
But no, again, no. I don't want that.
Huntington's disease, the inherited disease that causes the progressive breakdown of nerve cells in the brain, named after George Huntington, who was a researcher in 1872. Alzheimer's disease, 1901, German neuropathologist Lou Alzheimer began observing an odd patient at a Frankfurt asylum, 51-year-old woman who could not remember anything.
Mike, what, did he come up with the name or do like other medical professionals say, hey, man, and on review discovering this, we're going to attach your name to this?
George Tourette, French guy, neurologist. He figured out the condition of the nervous system we know as Tourette syndrome at one point in time in 1893. This goes on and on and on. Hodgkin's lymphoma, Thomas Hodgkin's. Bright's disease, which is kidney diseases. A guy named Richard Bright.
Yay.
Yeah, Addison's disease. A guy in a hospital named Thomas Addison. He was an actual patient in this case instead of a researcher. Turner syndrome. That's where you take black and white things and make them colored.
Colorize them,
yes. That was...
That's pretty good.
That was from a doctor who studied it named Henry Turner. It goes on and on and on and on. As you said, Lou Gehrig's disease. Asperger's syndrome. Hans Asperger. He discovered it in 1944, observing a group of children who just couldn't keep it together.
Right.
And seemingly focus on anything. So there you go. That's how that kind of works out. So today on the men's room poll, here's the idea. You're going to pick a disease that's going to be named after you.
All right.
Okay. All right.
So it'll be like Thrill's disease.
Yeah. It'll be Steve, Hill syndrome or whatever you want to call it. Number one would be IBS. That is irritable bowel syndrome, as we know it.
That might be most apropos for me.
You do have a active bowel.
I do. Thank you. I like how you say that.
There's no question about that. Number two would be herpes. You would be, your name would be given to herpes. So if you went to the doctor, or you might have to have the conversation with someone who you just started dating.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, by the way, I've got the Ted Smith disease.
And I'm taking Valtrex, and it only flares up every once in a while. But everyone relates.
You got the Smitty? I got the Smitty.
But think about it. Every time you get like a cold sore, you know that's related to the Smitty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Number three would be erectile dysfunction.
No thanks.
Now you think to yourself, I'm a woman, I'm calling the show, I don't care. Maybe people think because
you
are the reason that men cannot perform in bed. I'm just saying, look, you might think
I've got erectile Barbara.
You might think that's an easy way out, but maybe just based on you in their head in general, or your looks or whatever, you know what I mean? Just thinking of you naked, just game over. Game over, right? But erectile dysfunction, that's your third choice. And finally, chronic halitosis, which might be the worst of them all. Because no matter what, look, you're not going to have sex all the time dealing with erectile dysfunction. IBS, yes, that flares up from time to time. Herpes flares up from time to time. But if you have chronic halitosis...
Also known as Scamponi syndrome.
Every single person that you run into, every single person that you communicate with face-to-face... overwhelmingly, they're all just going to be aghast at your breath.
Right. That's not something you can hide, man.
And you know that smell. That smell, maybe if you've got a piece of chicken stuck in your teeth that you didn't realize was in there for 2 or 3 days. You know what I mean? You pop that bad boy open.
Yeah, when you floss, you can smell it.
You can smell the plaque, especially when you go to the dentist. And they start really digging in there and getting rid of the heavy-duty stuff. that smell that comes out of your mouth, that is the smell of your breath all the time. So again, our men's room poll, what disease will be named after you? Will it be IBS, herpes, erectile dysfunction, or chronic halitosis? That is our men's room poll. You can vote now if you follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live.
Dude, I'm taking erectile dysfunction.
Why are you taking ED?
Because it's like...
Because it's a TED pill you need or something like that?
No, I just think that's the easy. I just think that's the easiest one to deal with.
It is easy
to deal with. You know what I mean? Like having
with,
bad breath or having to run to find a bathroom all the time would be terrible. It's
well,
like
just named
it is, but I'd rather. But here's the thing: I would rather have my name attached to the IBS. Like, I got to go to the bathroom. Maybe I'm
having a case of the hills.
I got a bad case of the thrills, man. You know what I mean? You know, I'm sorry, but look, do you have a bathroom I can use? And it's not sexy, but I get it. But with ED, even though it's like, look, I could pop a Viagra, but it's still the idea. Hey, man, I have Viagra. I just want to let you know because I got D. Ted Smith syndrome.
Yeah.
And all that, and you can fix D. Ted Smith syndrome, but D. Ted Smith syndrome, by and large, is just the fact that my penis is permanently flaccid unless I take this pill. So it's easy to fix, but I just want my name. I don't want my name associated with that.
My name's the sexiest.
I think herpes is the worst here. Simply because if you have chronic halitosis, that's on you. That sticks with you. If you have erectile dysfunction, that is your issue. If you have IBS, that is also your issue. However, with herpes, it is something that you can pass on.
I don't want the miles
to another unwilling person who does not want this. Now, if you don't know anything about herpes, it sounds like that before AIDS came along.
Right, that was the bad one.
Herpes was, I mean, obviously gonorrhea is very painful and everything else, but herpes is something that stays with you for the rest of your life. And it's one of those things where you definitely contract it from someone else. And the person that you contracted from, they're always going to be the person that gave you something that's going to stay with you for the rest of your life. So to have your name associated with such a negative thing, if you've ever had a herpes breakout, they are not pleasant at all, and it takes a few days for them to go away. Not only that, so I've heard, you need to kind of preemptively think or know that you're getting a case coming on and take the Valtrex then. You cannot wait until you have an outbreak. The medicine is basically ineffective. You just got to ride it out. So you also have to know, from a standpoint of, I kind of like playing doctor on Google. You know what I mean? You need to diagnose yourself before you start taking this pill. So it's a pain in the ass. I just think that would be the one that I would least want my name associated with.
Because nobody else wants to contract
this, right?
Miles' herpes.
Exactly.
By the way, somebody here says with irritable bowel syndrome, call it thrillatable bowel syndrome.
Yeah, it works.
All right. CBS.
Okay.
See, I'm okay with that. You got to go to the bathroom. We get it.
No, I got it. Honey, I have to take these. I have TS.
But I feel better, for the D. Ted Smith syndrome?
Yeah.
For the throat.
Just Ted Smith syndrome. Like ED. I got TS.
Okay, but
I'm not saying TS. I'm saying I have the Ted Smith syndrome. Like, I am using your name, man.
Look, you could be in a restaurant.
You got to think about me every time you're having sex then.
You got to be in a restaurant.
God, that's the other bad part.
I'm in your head now. Even though there's nothing wrong with you, you ain't getting excited.
Okay. All right, okay. I know you have not had a colonoscopy yet.
I have not.
But one thing about a colonoscopy is the day before and the liquid you have to drink and what that does to your insides. As far as how bad it cleans you out, you need to stay very, very close to a bathroom that entire day. Now, if you have IBS, it's not too far off from that if you're having a very difficult time. We had the story the other day about the woman who went and used the bathroom in her kitty litter box because her boyfriend, husband, whatever, he'd been in the bathroom for over an hour. So when this starts happening to you, you can't go out to dinner. You can't go to a movie,
right?
Not unless you want to go to dinner and possibly sit in the restaurant bathroom for over a half an hour at a time. So that's not, it might seem like, I don't mind, it's just about pooping, but it really does affect your life to the point where, depending on how bad it is,
nobody wants it.
You've got to gauge what you can do and what you can't do at that particular.
Well, now they're calling it the thrill spills, and Ted, I like this one. It says if you attach your name to ED, they would just call it the TED. Ted's erectile dysfunction. TED. TED.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, that works.
Just give me, look.
Are you happy about that?
Give me erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, give me half an hour. Let's pop this pill. We're good.
The erectile dysfunction.
Get it.
That's good stuff.
Montgomery.
All right.
You got Montgomery.
And then I should take herpes then. Montgomery. I should take herpes.
Damn.
Golly, that's good. Could be erectile dysfunction. Either way. Our men's room poll. What disease will be named after you? Will it be IBS, herpes, erectile dysfunction, or chronic halitosis? We'll take a break and come back with Big Dummy next.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with the dedicated road solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed. You get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Game is Big Dummy, 206-421-ROCK. Steve, who is our first contestant, ready to play the big game.
Hello, Gabe. Welcome to the men's room.
Big Dummy.
Hola. Gabe, are you sober or not sober?
Incredibly sober, sadly.
All right, Gabe, welcome to the show.
Incredibly sober.
And Big Dummy. Okay, Gabe, what disease will be named after you? IBS, herpes, erectile dysfunction, or chronic halitosis?
Erectile dysfunction. I feel that speaks to me as who I am as a person.
Okay. All right. I like that you own it, man.
I know the effect I have on women. I'm sure it'd be the same with men.
Yes. There you go. Stay positive, man. I dig it. All right, Gabe, here is your first question. What country is the Great Barrier Island a part of?
Australia.
See, that's what I thought.
New Zealand?
That's what Mike thought. It is, in fact, New Zealand. So the Great Barrier Reef, Australia, Great Barrier Island, New Zealand.
Okay. You're awfully close.
They are very close. All right, your question. Cinnamon, turmeric, allspice, or coriander? Which spice was originally called pimento and grown in Jamaica? The clue would be that it's grown in Jamaica.
What were they again? I'm sorry.
Your choices were cinnamon, turmeric, allspice, or coriander.
Oh, man. Cinnamon.
Allspice.
Allspice, man.
I only know that because of jerk chicken.
We put it on everything.
Here's a little known fact. If you are ever in Jamaica and you see an allspice plant, put a couple leaves in your lips, like you would if you were chewing tobacco.
Get you high.
Oh, you'll catch a nice little buzz.
That stuff is potent,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know the taste of allspice, right? So,
I do.
Right. So imagine leaves of that just sitting in your cheeks, man. You're going to be buzzing.
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, I don't like the flavor that much. But
I don't either.
It's a little different.
But if I can get high.
Thank you. If I get a buzz off it, I'm in.
Right. I mean, that's all it takes. Right?
That's horrible.
No one says, I love the taste of this vodka.
I love the taste of mushrooms. I don't, not the magic mushrooms. They don't taste great, but I eat them for a purpose.
Yeah. It tastes like crack.
I should do it with vegetables, but I'll do it with hallucinogenics, just not healthy vegetables. All right, here's your question. The U.S. Midwest experienced a severe drought known as the Dust Bowl during what decade?
Ooh, the 20s.
So close. 30s.
Losing today.
How come there's no college game called the Dust Bowl? Have like Kansas playing Oklahoma, right?
The Dust in the Wind Bowl.
Yeah.
I close my eyes.
I guess they're just trying to forget it.
I mean, it's been a while, man.
Right, but you have like Roaring 20 parties.
Right.
Nobody's like, we're going to have a Depression era party.
Let's have the Dust Bowl party. Wear your worst clothes and there'll be no food.
Where is the food? That's what I was gonna say.
Right.
Yeah, come over for one piece of bread and liquor we made in the bathtub.
Here's a crouton for you. Enjoy.
Do you hate your esophagus? We have something that'll burn the crap out of it. Depression party.
Yay.
Depression era.
Era party.
If you're just sad, please don't come.
Oh, God, yeah. Definitely specify.
Depression era. Like, dude, Tim, you're just sad. You're always depressed. Get out of here. Which would be great for his mindset.
Oh, yeah, that'll help. All right, Gabe, your question: for which viral disease did Louis Pasteur develop a vaccine? You're not likely to get it, but you might have a circumstance where it gets past you.
Botulism.
Rabies? Rabies. Question 5.
So where do rabies start, right? They say, like, rabid raccoon bites, okay. What gave the raccoon rabies? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it fleas? Is it, like, where?
Mosquito, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know.
think you can get it from a mosquito, but...
I don't know. All right, here's your question. What type of legal defense is derived from the Latin word meaning elsewhere?
Alibi?
Bam.
Nice.
Oh, nice work, Gabe. That was a good one. Game is Big Dummy, 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Gabe.
What are you doing?
Bedroom colors, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio.
Second word.
Come on! Sucker, mother, and...
Is O a word?
Those words in mind.
Technically.
I mean, really?
Now
No.
He said,
Yeah.
I'm here for 45 minutes.
All right, Greg.
My bad.
Yeah, we get it, man.
My bad.
You're about to be off in a minute. You keep cussing.
Greg, are you sober or not sober?
I'm sorry.
Greg, are you sober or not sober today?
A little bit of this and that.
Okay.
All right. I like that answer.
Greg is that guy.
So are you driving drunk, man? I'm just driving.
Greg, what disease will be named after you? IBS, herpes, erectile dysfunction, or chronic halitosis?
You know what? These days, you know what? I'd rather have a little halitosis, but at the same time, I'd like to have a little bit of ED.
Okay.
So are you picking ED?
You know what? I'm going to go for a boner, not be, the ED. Let's go ED.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
That's a long drive to go down the block.
I'm glad I'm not behind the drive-thru and you're in front of me.
I love that potato tots, but I'm thinking of cheese. So give me the spicy chicken.
I want to fix that.
Are we going to West Seattle for this?
Are we going to West Seattle for what now?
Oh, I thought we were going to West Seattle to get some chicken. That Baka Bak, man, is fantastic. Have you had that Baka Bak?
You know what?
Capitol Hill.
I really like Baka Bak, and Miles right. There's one on Capitol Hill. Mm-hmm. 2.
Yeah,
they have 2 locations. Yeah, that stuff's great.
Yeah, man. Fantastic.
They are so happy that you're endorsing them right now. I can't even put it into words. All right, Greg.
You know what? That guy right there at the Baka Bak, but at the same time, it's like, my buddy at, the west of Chicago. That guy is fantastic with those pizzas there, man. That guy is good.
Greg, are you hungry?
I get that way, but I got the Chick-fil-A down the road for me here in Linwood. So, I might go get some of those chickens. That's delicious.
That's a good place to go for. You like chicken, Chick-fil-A, they're all about it.
Sure. And then you across the street, you get you get a pad of paper from the office depot there.
That's living, brother. All right, Greg, here's your question.
Are you going to bring up the Krispy Kreme right beside there?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I apologize.
You didn't interrupt. We're just letting you go. Mm-hmm. All right, here's your question. Amber is fossilized what?
Oh, you know what? I apologize for being that guy. It's the that thing that comes from the trees. The sap. That's a sap. I'm sorry.
He's on it. Jesus Christ. Too easy.
Now, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
I want you to think about what just happened. We just talked to that thing, all right? That thing was one and done.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Holy Jay!
That dude was one and done.
Second word out of his mouth was a cuss.
Big Dummy!
Hello, Johnny. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola!
Johnny, you sound normal. Are you sober or not sober?
Oh, we're getting to not sober.
All right, good for you, Johnny.
Yeah.
Okay, here, Johnny. What disease will be named after you? IBS?
Let's go with erectile dysfunction.
All right.
People are all over that, man.
You can do IBS and be on the Johnny.
Yeah. Got a case of the Johnnies.
The Johnnies. I've been on this thing for an hour.
Get my Johnny John. All right. That's what we call the toilet, man. You're on the Johnny John. Mm-hmm. All right, Johnny, here's your question. What state has the least rainfall?
Let's go with Nevada.
Wow. One and done. Look at that.
Get out of here. You can also be Jimmy John and have erectile dysfunction.
Got a case of the Jimmies.
Yeah, exactly. Man.
My Jimmy's acting up.
Jimmy John, not working.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, exactly.
I got the beanie on.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hola. Mike, sounds like you're driving, so you're sober? All right.
I sure so hope so. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Mike, what disease will be named after you? IBS, herpes, erectile dysfunction, or chronic halitosis?
Think about it. I think I got to go with herpes because it's one of those that will be your namesake forever beyond me and be my legacy.
Okay.
And what better legacy than herpes? Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you, man. Right. I completely understand. My name lives on forever. My association with herpes. Meanwhile, Phil Herpes, I really hate it. All right, here is your question. The pasta shape called farfalle gets its name from the Italian word for what insect?
Oh, good gosh. Mosquito.
Butterfly.
Yeah. Hence the bow tie pasta, right? Butterfly. Oddly enough, vermicelli, and this is true, means little worms.
Oh.
Yeah, yummy. Yay. All right, here's your question. A toque, T-O-Q-U-E, a toque is the proper name for a baseball hat, a chef's hat, a bike helmet, or an astronaut helmet.
Gosh, guys, why is this game so much easier when you're listening to it? I have no idea. Baseball cap.
RD wears.
Exactly. You need to say a toque. Buy yourself some Chef Boyardee. All right, your question. The path known as the Silk Road stretched 4,000 miles from China to what city?
Silk Road in China. What city? How many miles?
4,000.
4,000 miles. Beijing?
Istanbul?
Rome. Istanbul is not a bad guess, but Rome. Right. Yeah.
Istanbul. Yeah.
All right, here's a TV show about to get a reboot, I believe. In what city was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air born and raised?
Oh, God.
Come on.
Those are great slacks.
East side of Philly?
Philadelphia,
Pennsylvania. Very good.
West.
Yeah.
I mean, Philadelphia's correct.
But yeah.
West Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. Montgomery County. Game is Big Dummy 206-421 Rock.
Have you ever heard the theory that it's all about drugs?
What?
Basically, Uncle Phil's working for, the DEA or something.
All right.
And he's a plant. He gets in trouble. Then they bring him out there. Or they're drug lords. I read this guy on Twitter.
So, Uncle Phil's the drug lord?
Right. And Will was actually pushing it in Philly.
Okay.
But then the other dealers got mad, so he had to rescue him. But it's why not have a judge that also sells drugs? I mean, this guy went in depth on Twitter.
I like it, man. It makes the show a lot more interesting. I was like, holy
cow. Well, the new one's supposed to be pretty dark.
You realize, like, Carlton's in the back, like, beating the hell out of people.
I mean, dark as far as the plot.
Yes.
Well, that's the other thing, right? Is that Carlton helps move the drugs at the school and everything. And actually, the kingpin is the butler.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And Carlton would be the guy who wanted to push drugs because you'd suspect him the least.
Correct.
Right?
I mean, it all adds up, right? The sister's on TV doing weather. No way she's selling drugs.
If you see a woman doing weather on TV, she's selling drugs.
Where's the best place to hide, Ted?
Plain sight.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm. We got to figure it out. Hello, Jason. Welcome to the men's room.
Boo, bitches.
Boo!
Jason, are you sober or not sober?
A year sober.
Year sober.
All right.
Good for you, Jason. Okay. All right, Jason, men's room poll. What disease will be named after you? IBS, herpes, erectile dysfunction, or chronic halitosis?
I got to go with IBS because it just seems the least problematic.
We had someone checked in and said, man, I had my gallbladder removed. I would not wish IBS on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sticking with it.
Okay, all right.
All right, Jason, here's your question. What was the only South American country to send troops to fight in World War II?
I'm going to go with Venezuela.
Nah, they were busy.
World War II. I'll say Colombia.
Nope.
Brazil?
Brazil. And since you did so well on that question, what side did Brazilian troops support in World War II? Allies or Axis?
Ooh.
I'm going to hope it's the Allies.
Okay.
I was like, that would have thrown me for a loop if they were supporting the Axis.
Well, honestly, so the first question I researched, South American country sends troops, it's Brazil. Then I'm like, I really don't know what side they fought on. You would hope it's the Allies, but then at the end of World War II, right, every time there's like a Nazi war criminals disappeared,
they end up in Brazil.
They always say, we spotted them in Brazil.
Well, it's not Brazil. Right? It's, what's the other country down
Argentina?
There? No.
It seems like
is it Paraguay? And they're like famous. There's a couple countries down there that are famous for like pork and like schnitzel and stuff, even though they're in South America.
Okay.
All the Nazis ran over there.
I'm going down
That's
there for
why
the
I had to
schnitzel.
check. I wasn't going. I'm going up towards Paraguay for a Paraguay.
I don't know. You know what? I think I'm not sure if it's Paraguay. I got to look it up.
That's the only reason I looked it up. I'm like
chili schnitzel.
Ooh, chili. That sounds like a sex move.
That sounds like IBS.
That requires a towel.
Chili schnitzel.
Chili schnitzel.
Chili schnitzel.
It's when you pound that thin and then you squat down.
Hello, Cheyenne. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola. Cheyenne team sober. What disease will be named after you, Cheyenne? IBS, herpes, erectile dysfunction, or chronic halitosis?
Well, given all the choices, I got to go with the IBS.
IBS. All right.
I mean, I don't think any of these are winners. I just feel like ED is not the one.
I'm sticking with it.
I know. A lot of people are jumping on that. Like, I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not that it's the worst problem to have. It's an easy thing to remedy. I just don't want my name attached to the problem. Like,
but mine's also easier because, like, when you have Ted Smith, like, that's only private time. Whereas, like, herpes burns when you're out in public.
Sure.
You got to run to the bathroom, and then you're just annoying everybody with your stank breath.
Yeah, but, like, what I'm about to get laid, man, okay, all right. Things did not go as expected, and this woman actually wants to go home with me.
All right.
What is the reaction from the time I popped the pill? Like, how long is the wait before the evidence of TED syndrome goes away? Like, is it?
I don't know. I think they tell you like an hour.
And see, but that's the problem, right?
Yeah, I think it's like an hour.
Like, I didn't bring my pills with me. I don't know what happened. We just hit it off at the bar, man. She wants to go to her place. Well, my pills are not at her place because my goddamn TED won't work.
Well, let me hit you with this, too.
All right.
With my disease also, even though it's bad, nobody wants to go through that, there's also a naked woman in the bed. I can still have fun.
I can.
Whereas you're stuck in the bathroom.
I know, like, I'll be out in a minute.
Now you got it in my head to have a woman in.
All right, Cheyenne, here's your question. On the TV show Family Guy, what game does Stewie play with Helen Keller?
You know, as big a Family Guy fan as I am, I'm a little ashamed right now, but I can't remember.
He played the ultimate game of Marco Polo.
Yes. That was going to be like hide and seek or something.
All right, multiple choice for you. Kenner, Hasbro, or Mattel? Which company first produced the Spirograph back in 1966?
We'll go with Hasbro.
Kenner. Those things are still cool.
Yeah, they are.
Was that the thing, the little plastic wheel that you put the pen in and it drew fun shapes?
Yeah, cool shapes.
Yeah.
Actually, I have one at home now. And every once in a while, like when you're bored and just killing time, you'll start doing crap. I know.
Cheyenne, what's the weather?
Yes, and I've smoked weed, Mike, but still.
Cheyenne, what's the weather like in South Dakota right now?
Right now, it's like, I think it's like 50 degrees.
Oh, wow. All right.
It's about the same here.
Yeah.
All right. Your question. Patsy Cline, Seal, Aerosmith, and Gnarls Barkley all had hit songs with what title?
Something with a rose. I don't know.
Nope. The song would be Crazy.
Crazy for loving you.
Our very own Mike Hawk put that together.
Oh, that's nice. A crazy montage.
Yeah, the crazy.
Yeah. You should play
Patsy
that.
Cline, Seal, Aerosmith, and Gnarls Barkley.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who would really want that for their ringtone for certain people.
You know what? Play that again.
Oh, it's my wife. Hold on, guys. I got to take this call.
And did your wife's calling?
Yeah, no. I'm going to ignore her.
All right, Cheyenne, your question. What is the only U.S. state that borders more than 2 Canadian provinces?
New York.
Think size.
It's either Montana or Michigan.
It's Montana. Okay. British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. Hey, Cheyenne, hang on the line there for us a minute, man.
We're going to question number 5. More Big Dummy coming up. If you'd like to be a contestant, 206-421-ROCK.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.